listening to the Underdog Sports NFL Show with host Chris Horwedel and Mario Hines. Brought to you by Underdog Sports. Each week, Chris and Mario welcome current NFL stars and discuss the biggest news from around the football world.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Underdog Sports NFL Show. I'm Chris Horwedel, joined by Mario Hines, and we're going to take a look at the Week 3 slate of games in the National Football League. Mario, are you ready for this?
I am ready.
Well, as always, we're going to use the lines over at Bovada Sportsbook for our games, and let's dig right into this. First game up on the docket, the Tennessee Titans travel to Jacksonville to take on Jalen Ramsey, ? And the Jacksonville Jaguars. Bovada has the Jaguars +2.
Tennessee did not bounce back, but this Jaguars team can't really compete right now. So this said Tennessee team will do what they have to do, and they'll definitely be able to win by at least a field goal. So take that line with Tennessee.
Do you believe in Tennessee, or do you just think this is a bad Jaguars team right now?
This is a bad Jaguars team in a bad situation, so you can compound that a bit. I believe Tennessee is who they are. I don't think they'll get any better or any worse, which is strange, considering we haven't hit week 4. I typically don't do that.
Yeah.
But it just looks like that's who they are.
So in the words of Delaney Walker quoting Denny Green, they are who we thought they were.
It's such poetic justice that at this point, we can use that against them.
And by the way, we don't talk over-unders here a lot, but this game has a really depressing over-under at 38.5. The Vegas believes this is not just going to be a boring game, but also a super low-scoring one.
It's hit the nail on the head, but I actually would go under, which makes me even more sad. So Thursday night football has not been very fun for the fans starting with this season.
It hasn't. They have, in just primetime games in general, have not been home runs this year.
I think I don't know what was happening back when the nostalgia-filled days of my youth, or even when I was in college and the primetime games were pretty good. But now it's like these guesses and this hype train is really starting to miss.
You know what bothers me too, and I feel bad about it for the kids of this generation, is they'll never get to experience the magic that was a Madden and Summerall Monday night game.
Oh my gosh, like to know that how special it would be to not play on Sunday. Like right. We have all this sprinkled in, but how special it was to play on Monday night. You get an extra day of coverage. You know what everyone else in the league has done. It was something magical, and Madden in the booth, obviously, we talked about this a while back, but it's bigger than the video game. It's his coaching, it's his presence in the booth and football, and yeah, I wish we could rewind time so that I could stay this age now, but still enjoy it.
Yeah, it's Monday night has gone from an event to an afterthought really quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was the case as we watched Luke Falk play this past Monday night. Poor New York Jets fans. All right, well, let's get on to our next game. The Atlanta Falcons travel to Indianapolis to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Bovada has the Colts -1.5.
Wow, the Colts looked pretty good last week. Bounced back. Atlanta, I don't know why they continue to struggle with these close games. Julio looked great, though. Yeah. I know, right? Like when great is an understatement, but I think I'm actually going to go with Atlanta here. I think they're starting to figure out who they are and what they want to be, which is they won't be scoring a ton of points, but they're gritty. They can run the ball fairly well. Or they can commit to running the ball fairly well, and they're starting to limit turnovers. That defense looked like they were ready to start stopping folks. So I think I'm actually going to take Atlanta. Don't take Indy with this line.
The Baltimore Ravens travel to Kansas City to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Bovada has the Chiefs minus, of course, 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very close game. Who could have predicted that this is actually would have been the game to see, prior to the season? Obviously, I thought Lamar would progress. I didn't think he'd come with back-to-back outstanding games. I'm going to still take KC, Kansas City, just because, right now, outside of the Pats, who's going to beat this team. And the way Mahomes looks, he's delivering such darts, and the defense is actually not looking better than last year, not gaping holes, not bend but don't break. So going to go KC, and they're definitely going to win by more than a touchdown.
Let me ask you, best 2 quarterbacks in football right now?
I won't go that far. I'd say 2 of the hottest, but I won't say the best 2. Obviously, I think Mahomes is the best quarterback in football.
Lamar Jackson was spectacular week 1, and he followed it up with an even better game week 2, becoming I believe the first player in NFL history to go for 260 plus and 120 plus.
That's what we've been waiting for. And here comes the better than Vic stuff, which, is also victim of the moment because Vic did some very special things early in his career on the ground.
Yeah.
But I think this is more of what Lamar Jackson is than he is not. I just think he cools off just because, outside circumstances, obviously he's going to have his days or his moments and his plays. But, I mean, his playmakers aren't going to be at the top of their game like this all season.
All right, well, the not game of the week, the Cincinnati Bengals travel to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. Bovada has the Bills -6.
So Cincinnati did not wake up last week.
No.
Buffalo, it's weird. As much as Josh Allen is who he is, Buffalo's doing a pretty good job at letting him be that and finding the success. He's missing really badly, especially anything over 15, 20 yards. He's missing very badly. But they're allowing him to run, get out on the edge, be athletic, and it's keeping him in ball games. So I think we can go ahead and take Buffalo in this line here. I think Cincinnati is right on time to rebuild and figure out what they're doing.
The good news for Bills fans is Josh Allen is not Mitch Trubisky. Josh Allen, I saw the numbers earlier, 500 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Mitch Trubisky, 350 yards passing, no touchdowns, and an interception so far this season.
My goodness.
Yeah,
I missed on that one.
Wow. So did the Bears. But and by the way, they took him 8 picks ahead of Pat Mahomes and 10 picks ahead of Deshaun Watson. I remember there was that crazy line. I don't remember who had it, but in Vegas that Lamar Jackson's over-under touchdown passes for the season would be 15.5, which seems like an embarrassment for a professional quarterback. Well, Mitch is on pace for 0 through 2 games, so take the under there.
Oh, my Mitchell.
I will not call him Mitchell until he starts to play football. Well, you have to earn getting that douchey a name. Mitch, I can live with.
I get you.
I don't know. Thank you for going down that road with me, though. The Denver Broncos travel to Green Bay to take on the Green Bay Packers, and Bovada has the Packers -7.5.
7.5. I like that number, Bovada. Green Bay's looking better. I thought they would start off a little bit faster, especially in week 2. I thought they would pick up more, but Denver, as much as they've looked pretty good on the ground, they just can't put anything else together. The defense isn't really able to complete drives. Their edge rushers are doing their job, but no one else seems to be. And I think Aaron Rodgers does a great job of manipulating pass rushers like that. So I think Green Bay definitely wins this game 10+. So put your money on Green Bay in that line.
Well, here we are, buddy. The Detroit Lions travel to Philadelphia to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Your Lions versus my Eagles. Bovada has the Eagles -6.
Jeez, they didn't see us play last week against that LA Chargers team? That was a good
apparently
team.
Didn't see us play last week either.
So I'm going to go all the way on the opposite side. I think that was a big franchise win for Detroit. I think Philadelphia, not to say that they are not poised to do well. I think that they do bounce back this season. I think with guys hurt, they want to make sure more guys don't get hurt. They're willing to take one loss for the greater good. And lucky enough, it's against the Detroit Lions, so I have no problem taking Detroit in this win.
Well, get ready to see. Oh God, what's his name? Oh, I can't even think of his name. The special teams receiver from North Carolina. It's an Eagle right now, and I can't think of what his name is. He was hurt all last year. It's not Hank Basket. I know that for sure. Whatever. I'll come up with another name. Get ready for J.J. Arthega-Whiteside to put 220 up on the board on you guys.
Oh man, is he playing Scrabble?
It's more luck of in that than in football thus far. All right, moving on. Oh my God, both of these lines have gone up. This is crazy. The Miami Dolphins travel to Dallas to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Bovada has the Cowboys, the biggest line I've ever seen for a professional game, minus 22.5.
Oh my gosh, Dallas looks good on offense. Our boy Dak. No,
our boy.
I know, right? Dak bounced back from that ugly, woeful interception to play really, really well. And they are confident. They are hot. Zeke is climbing. His production is climbing. Miami is woeful, and dreadful. So I think, Bovada, I trust you because you're the best. So that 22 points, I think Dallas definitely beats this team. And we talked about this, Chris. We said, how many games will this team lose by 25 plus points? Add this to that list.
All right. Well, just recently, just in this past game, I mentioned that was the biggest line I've ever seen for a professional game. That is going to be eclipsed here. The New York Jets travel to New England to take on the New England Patriots. It's crazy that the numbers are this high. Bovada has the Patriots minus 24.
Take the Pats. Take this line. New England's not joking around. The Jets are. The Jets are a joke right now. It's really, really sad football. New England does not care. And they want to continue to put their stake in the ground because there's teams in the AFC that are coming for them. And they can't risk any unnecessary losses. So they'll definitely make sure this is a confirmed win. Take New England in line.
Yeah, I had to predict this game, and I think you're right. I'm taking the Patriots minus the most points I've ever seen given up. I've got the Pats winning this one 38-6.
Woo! I can see it. I can smell it. It's coming.
Oh, poor Jets fans, poor Dolphins fans. My goodness. All right, the Oakland Raiders, speaking of poor fans, travel to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Bovada has the Vikings minus 9.
The Vikings, I hate to say as badly as I put my faith in the Mitchell, I am very, very, very happy. Not happy, but I'm told you so about this Kirk Cousins guy. He's not playing very well. It was going to cool off. Oakland is the team that will make me say, maybe Kirk Cousins is doing a little better. So actually, Minnesota does bounce back. Kirk plays a little bit better, but man is, his name just slipped me. What's the running back?
Dalvin Cook.
Oh my gosh. I love when the running back position is playing what I am used to seeing the running back position play like. I think he has a great game as well. Welcome to the NFL moment for our boy on the other side of the ball for Oakland, rookie. So I think Minnesota hits the line.
Yeah. By the way, Mac Hollins, the name I was trying to come up with.
Yes.
I'm embarrassed for myself, and it is what it is. No more so than usual. Embarrassed about myself, but embarrassed nonetheless. And speaking of an embarrassment, the New York Giants take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. Bovada has the Bucs minus 7.
The Giants are that bad. It's Mr. Jones' first start. I think I'm going to go with the Bucs here and take that line. I actually take the Giants. Take the Giants. Even though the Bucs will win, take the Giants.
Okay, so a close game here.
Yeah, I think the Giants will play better than people expect with this kid under center, and the Tampa Bay just, it's the BA effect, which is keeping them competent with playing competent football. Yeah.
Well, in terms of Jones, I think there's something to be said about not having tape on an opposing quarterback, and the inherent advantages of that.
Right, and we can't say for sure yes or no. I'm telling you, it's easier to say that there's an advantage than not, but I'm willing to kind of agree.
Oh, thank you. Kind of, but everybody knocks the relatively poor stats for Daniel Jones at Duke. But, he was playing at Duke. Like, the guy was playing by himself. Duke is not exactly a powerhouse of talent. Of course, the quarterback is going to struggle when the offensive line isn't good, when the wide receivers aren't good. Jones should be fine. And by the way, another guy who struggled mightily in college is the guy he is replacing, Eli Manning at Ole Miss.
Yes, it's what happens when you got to play Clemson, and you're not matching up guy for guy. Like, that's what happens, and it really shocks me because even though I like to even bring up Aaron Rodgers in comparisons like this, because it's not that he struggled. He actually put up pretty decent numbers in that Cal offense, but they didn't win much. Right. Because of what was going on in the Pac-10. So like stuff like that, you've got to be smarter than that. So I actually don't think that Daniel Jones will have that bad of a career, or is that ill prepared to take over.
Yeah, I'm always bummed. I've seen. I'm gonna say something that's gonna be a little bit embarrassing for me right now. A little bit. I don't know. Maybe people are gonna lose respect for me, and that's fair, and I'll acknowledge it. I've been to one college football game in my lifetime. And that game was a California Golden Bears game. And it kills me that it was not a Aaron Rodgers game or even a Davis Webb game. I could not tell you who the starting quarterback of Cal was 2 years ago. I can tell you that he was not good. And I can tell you that Washington was playing, and John Ross is very fast, and Budda Baker was outstanding at the time.
Well, at least you saw very quality talent, and I will not chastise or judge you for getting to your first college game a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago, but I did get to see. I went to one college game and I got to see the fastest player technically in the history of the National Football League play. So did all right. Also watched Markelle Fultz play in college, and that didn't work out so great for me. But
no,
what are you gonna do? Sometimes you forget how to shoot. It happens. Let's move on to the next game on the docket here. The Houston Texans travel to Los Angeles to take on those Los Angeles Chargers. Bovada has the Chargers -3.
The Chargers are a hard team to beat, man. They have a great scheme. Keenan Allen is just such a hard cover. I hope Houston's ready, and I don't think they are. I think the Chargers expected to win last week, and they're going to carry that over into this week. Take Chargers in the line.
And my guy Austin Eckler on pace for over 2,000 yards of total offense this year.
What a hard guy to tackle, man.
He's fun. He's fun, and he's the reason you never pay anyone other than the most elite of elite running backs $10 million.
I mean, you're making me more of a believer every time he touches the rock.
Well, Melvin Gordon says he's going to play somewhere this year, so we'll see how that works out. The New Orleans Saints, led by Teddy Bridgewater, travel to Seattle to take on those Seattle Seahawks. And Bovada has the Seahawks -4.5.
Oh, week to week is Breeze.
Yeah.
This week ain't the week. So yeah. I'm going to take Seattle. I think they're revving up, feeling good. Started out a bit slow this week, beat that Steelers team, and now I think they're starting to get their confidence rolling. What a good time to face the Saints. So I think they win and they hit the line.
How do you feel about Bridgewater?
I like him, man. I just think certain quarterbacks, when they come in and there's already a shadow cast and they can never really get comfortable, play their game. I think he won't ever play as good as he can if he's just named the outright starter. So I do like him. I can't really say how well he plays in this stint without Drew Brees, is who he is and how he needs to be evaluated, but how else will he be evaluated? So, it's kind of that double-edged sword thing for me.
Yeah, I think the most troubling thing with the Brees injury, Bridgewater played really the epitome of fine. He was 17 of 30 for 165 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He's okay, didn't hurt the team. But the issue is, without Drew Brees in the game, there's a lot more attention paid to Alvin Kamara, and it showed. 13 carries, 45 yards.
Right. There's not really much he can do to mask when the times he's going to get the ball or make him not the number one threat, or Drew Brees exposing that over attention. So, I mean, good luck, Alvin. I would just say stay healthy. Stay healthy.
All right. The Pittsburgh Steelers, led by Minkah Fitzpatrick in the secondary, take on Jimmy Garoppolo and those 2-0 star-studded San Francisco 49ers. Bovada has the 49ers -7.
Wow.
I know, right?
I agree. I mean, So I don't think Jimmy is the guy he showed us last week, but I do think he's closer to that guy than the guy we saw to end last year and to start this year. And Steelers right now, they're going to figure out who they are. We'll see if Minka can get up to speed in half a week of practice. Excuse me. But I think San Francisco, I take them to keep on rolling. And defense looks great.
I'll tell you, I'm a little bit surprised by this upcoming line here. The Los Angeles Rams travel to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio to take on the Cleveland Browns. Bovada has the Browns +3.
Wow. What are you surprised by before I give my pick?
I'm surprised it's a 3-point line because that effectively says if on a neutral site this is a pick 'em. Or no, actually, it means that the Browns would be +6. Never mind. But I'm surprised it's as close as a +3. Chris Hubbard is going to probably miss the game for the Browns. They're starting right tackle, who is very adequate in his own right. It's going to move Justin McCray most likely to right tackle. He's been the starter in practice. He was a disaster when asked to play week 1. This is a team that's going to have to deal with Aaron Donald. I mean, the Browns are probably going to be able to score points. Looked like they figured some stuff out last week, even though I think there's some problems simmering with that team. I said this on the Underdog this week with Anshu. I think the positive relationship, like the honeymoon relationship between Baker Mayfield and Freddie Kitchens is very much over now. So, yeah, I'm surprised this is a 3-point line.
Yeah, before I give my pick, I do want to say about what I'm seeing with the Browns is especially that dynamic with Baker is like you want to look at him and say, get the job done now. You know, and right now it doesn't feel like he's owning getting the job done. It still feels like there's something in the air that we're just supposed to believe it's going to get done without the work or the production. So that's kind of a little eerie for me. I mean, OBJ with a huge turnout production-wise. I don't know if that's replicable in the way that it was done with the Jets, but it's a good sign nonetheless. I don't think it's enough, though. I think the Rams are just a better team. I think they win by more than 3. So take the Rams and the line, but I don't think Cleveland embarrasses themselves, but they're just not ready for this matchup.
So Cleveland was up 20 points in basically a meaningless portion of the game late in the fourth quarter against the Jets, and they have their starters in. Why is Odell Beckham Jr. in the game? Why is Jarvis Landry in the game? Why is Baker Mayfield in the game? And more than that, why is Baker dropping back and throwing passes with 3 minutes left in the game up 20? What doesn't Freddie Kitchens understand?
Freddie Kitchens wants to make statements at this juncture in the season.
Yeah, and the statement is he's not ready to be a coach.
And that's like that secondary thing that comes out with that. Like, this is not the time or place to say, guys, it's time to dig in and be who we're going to be all the time. It's not the time because you know what's happening in the NFL. You know guys are still getting set for the league. You know OBJ actually isn't 100%. Get out with the win. Get your heads on straight. But I feel like it was one of those things where we've seen in scenarios, it's that going for it on fourth down moment and things like that where coaches are like, you guys are the pros. Get it together and show me what you got. It just was a poor time to execute that because one bad play, and then you're looking at not recovering the rest of the season.
Yeah, you're one injury away from complete mediocrity. I didn't understand it, but whatever. The Monday night game, oh boy, can't wait for this one. And only the third game this week where the home team is a dog. The Chicago Bears travel to Washington to take on those Redskins. Bovada has the Redskins +4.
+4. I mean, as bad as Chicago has looked offensively with their passing scheme, Washington can't buy a break anywhere in any matchup. They can't play a 4-quarter game. They haven't looked horrible, but they just can't put it together. I think the defense saved Chicago again. And this is my last time saying Mitch will at least throw for 200 yards and a touchdown.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Is does Mitch finally break the seal of the end zone through the air in this game?
Yeah, he'll give you one. He'll give you one.
Well, let that be the official slogan of Mitchell Trubisky. He'll give you one. All right, well, some fun games this week, some not fun games this week, but I think we made a lot of people a lot of money here. For Mario Hines, I'm Chris Horwedel. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you back here next week.